Okay, so here we have the Watchtower. This is a really stunning looking building, and I think what we'll do with this one first is we will start with the main tower, because we need to get the clips and everything in the floors and in the tower in exactly the right place, so that it assembles in the correct way. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start by taking sheet 1 of 1 and also sheet 4 of 4, and we're going to take these tower parts off. So what we have got 2 wall parts which are exactly the same, and then we have got one which is a little bit different. Okay, and the way this is going to be assembled is we are going to have the one that's different in the middle, and then these 2 either side. Now you can see that there's some creepers, kind of ivy growing upwards. Okay, so that's how you know that this is the bottom of the wall. The windows are also slightly higher. Okay, at the top of the wall there's a smaller, less of a gap, and generally the top of these walls have got a lot of slots on it, whereas the bottom, the base, have only got a couple. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're assembling the walls, you know, in the right way so it can clip together. So let's just start with the base. First thing we're going to do, and we'll be doing this with all the walls, is bend this round. Okay, so you get it to here, and you're going to use a straight clip to connect it together. Okay, and you'll end up with this kind of shape here, and that is perfect. Now, looking at it with the clip here, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight to a floor first, and we're going to get the floors ready. Okay, the floors are the same, and what we're going to need to do is make sure that we've got the floor in the right position. And in order to do that, let's pop this little hole out here. This is a little slot that you can put a ladder in, kind of guides the ladder into the right direction. Okay, and so then we're gonna turn this so that we have got 2 slots with this wall facing this way. We've got 2 slots coming out this way, and 1 slot over here, and this bit here, this little slot here facing this front clip. Then we're going to grab an L clip and a T clip, and we're going to place the L clip into here, and but we're not going to push it all the way in. Going to leave it out a little bit, and we're going to do the same with the T clip, and we're going to put it in, keeping this slot facing the clip in the, if you like, the second one round from that. We're going to put that in. Again, not pushing it all the way in, because we want this floor tile to actually sit inside this structure. And again, keeping this slot facing that clip, we're going to just pop that on there like so. And we're going to push it down home. And then as we get it down lower, we're going to start manipulating this floor inside this here. I now have this floor sitting actually inside the outside. That doesn't make sense. I actually have this floor sitting inside the main tower. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is then we're going to put together the 2 levels here, remembering that this is your next level and then your level after that. Okay, so we're going to do that next. So first of all, we're going to bend through this second floor, if you like. Then on either side of the door, you'll see, it's virtually either side of the door, you'll see that we've got 2 areas on this one to put some clips in. Okay, so and on this one, we're going to need to put in 2 of these T-clips, and they are going to connect to this floor here. So I'll pop this little, and what we're going to do on this one is we're going to want to make sure that we've got this little slot here facing this door. So when you put that, you're like, that doesn't work because it doesn't line up with my clips. So you spin it over and it will suddenly line up with your clips. And so you can then, same again, put your clips on here either side, and then you're going to locate this so that it goes inside your tower, as it were. So I'll do that now. So once that's in place, I've kind of got the door open here as well. That looks pretty cool. So the next thing, or the last part of the tower, is we need to put this on. So I'm going to bend this through and put a clip on it, again keeping the orientation of the wall correct, making sure I've got this section here with all the slots at the top facing upwards. Okay, so once I've got that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my second floor with a door in it. Okay, and if you look at the back here where this clip is, I'm going to put this one on here like so, and we're going to line up the two slots on the bottom with that and pop that on the top. And you'll see here you've got there's a slight kind of offset for these clips. So you've got one here and this one is offset that way. Okay, and that is that like this. And then what we're going to do is, last for the top of this tower, actually, we've just got some slots on here to put in some like long struts, as it were. Okay, just popping out all the little bits there. And then, so what you've got here then basically is you want to be able to just slot these into the top of the wall. Now the first one is going to go directly in line with the door, and then you will be able to put the one on the other side directly opposite, and then you want to make sure that these next two actually go in these slots, which are actually on a half cut. Okay, so they're actually sitting here, whoops, one over here, put that around the right way. And then with a little bit of jiggling around, you can see that we've got that as a nice cross. And this will end up sitting on here like so, with this little bit sticking out here, which we're going to connect a big walkway to, and of course we're going to put a large sort of area at the top, as it were. First of all, we're going to focus on the big gantry part. Okay, now you can see here, I've got one here that you've ready. This is going to basically slot onto here like so, and that's going to, you know, become your access, if you want, to your second floor. So we're going to need to build that first. So what we've got here is our sheets, and we're going to find all the bits and pieces. So pop yourself through, and it says balcony, so you should be able to find all the bits and pieces that you need. Okay, so here you can see you've got your main balcony platform. You've got a couple of very unique rails, a load of kind of stands, stilts if you like, and a set of steps. Now the steps go together exactly the same as any other steps, so I'll probably assemble those speeded up because it's all covered in the scatter terrain video. But yes, what we're going to want to do first is we're going to want to assemble these onto here. Now the first thing to notice is that you've got two that have actually got a bit of a railing on them already, and those are going to be located at the ends here. And you've also got one, well there's three of these, but one of them is very slightly different. It's got a little cutaway in it here, and it hasn't got this little protruding piece sticking out. That one in particular needs to be located so that when you slot your balcony on, it allows this to slip right underneath the clip like that, whereas these ones would ordinarily just sort of get in the way. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to pop the stands onto here first of all. Okay, so I've put the stands on, and this one here with the special cutaway, you can see is exactly opposite this area where the clip goes in, which will allow the clip to go underneath here. Okay, so now that I've got that, the next thing I'm going to want to do is put these railings on. That's it. And as you put those on, that really starts to kind of give this some strength as it holds everything in place. So lastly, I'm just going to assemble these stairs, and then they're going to slot directly onto the top of here. That's that, like that. And then we're going to slot this, lines up with this, and we're just going to slot it on the end. And now you've got your nice balcony, which is going to then slot onto this piece here. And that becomes then the base of your watchtower, which I think is really, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to move that to one side. And I'm going to move this to one side, because next we're going to need to grab these sheets and we're going to need to build this part here on top, and then eventually the roof which pops on top. So I'm going to need all of the parts for the lookout floor. Okay, and here are the parts for the lookout. This is a really simple part. You're just going to need 4 of those clips, and you're going to place the clips into the 4 slots, and then you're going to slot this onto the top. So I'm going to do that now. That's it. Once I've got it on all slotted on and it's in place, kind of just give these clips a little bit of a push in, and that just closes the structure up a little bit if needed. Okay, and that gives you your top. Now you'll see that there's 4 little holes here, and these actually locate into the 4 little holes which are on the top of your tower. And this allows you to lift this off to get access inside the tower mid-game. Like all of a terrain, we want to be able to get inside, as it were, as opposed to just having a shiny building to look at. Want to interact with it. Okay, so just popping that over there for a moment. It's important to note as well, here's one of our other towers, that we've got a little table here, and that comes in this set. Now it assembles the same as all of the ordinary scatter tables, but this table and this table alone is the only table that will fit up into here and actually fix in place through here. And the reason is it's got a slightly narrower underside that doesn't get in the way of where your tower slots into the bottom. So that's just a little note, as it were. We're going to make the roof next. And this is pretty simple. You're just going to require this roof here and this clip. Okay, very simple. I'm going to bend this through. Now these aren't quarter cuts, these are half cuts. So they're a bit more wobbly, and they're wobbly for a reason, because it allows the roof to naturally sit in position. Okay. Let's pop. I've got a wide slot here and a sort of a thinner slot here, so I'm going to put that in the wide slot in the thin slot, and the thin slot in the wide slot, and that will make sure that my roof holds in place very tightly. Okay, so what you're left with this kind of malleable roof, as it were. Okay, and you just need to pop it back onto your tower over here. Okay, so we've got these little parts here which just slot on top, and then you put that on top as well, and that is probably a bit too tall for our camera, but there you go, you got this lovely watchtower. Just get it a bit closer, you can see the top. Excellent. And so that really is the watchtower, and I think it's a really nice building. So that's the main part. What about the extras you get on here? Okay, so we've got a little kind of beacon that comes with this set. So I'm just going to pop out the parts of that now. So we have also got this beacon, and here it is, and we've got 4 sides. We've got these little clips. Instead of plastic clips, we've got these little card clips, and we've got a little ladder, and also I've pulled off all of this. Normally we would call this like scatter stuff that you can just chuck around the battlefield. It looks really cool. On this sheet we've called it kindling, and that is so that you can use it to represent wood inside the beacon for lighting, as it were. But yeah, this is pretty simple to put together. You've got 4 sides with 4 clips, a bit like building walls, and then an ordinary roof, a bit like the tower, with or the guard hut, with a little clip to go in there. So I'm just going to pop this together. Pretty simple. So once that's together, give it a little jiggle. Remember, you've also got a little torch on here. So you've got to make sure that that torch, that this piece here is going on the inside and that's going on the outside. When you clip this particular side together, the rest don't really matter. But yeah, that's that side bit. Let's put the roof together. Pop that on there. Okay, and there you go. There's your little roof that goes on top, and so basically you've got a choice. You can stick this on the top like that and basically have it as a kind of a just like a little shelter that you could put somewhere, or you can stick it upside down like this. It's got this like texture inside, and you can put it like that, and then you've got all this kindling which you can kind of balance and push inside and on top, etc. That you could say, well, that's what we're going to light, and get a little ladder there, and yeah, you light it, and yeah, help will come. So so there you go, a couple of choices with this little side bit. So that leaves you with the wizard's tower, which is too big to fit into our camera properly. Okay, sorry, the guard tower, which is too big to fit into the camera, and you've got this little side bit as well. For the guard tower, one thing I did forget was there are a couple of little ladders here. Just pop these bits out. So with these ladders, if you remember, there's a little slot just in each of these 2 floors. If you want a ladder to represent you going up to different levels or so on and so forth, these are quite small floors, so we don't like have trapdoors or anything in them. But if you want that as a representation, then what we've done, we've provided these little ladders here. These little ladders are really cool, they're really useful, and in many of our buildings you can kind of hook them in, hook them underneath, or hook them on top. To add a little ladder extra, whether it's in this set or somewhere else. But for this set here, we provide these little holes, so if you want to, you can just kind of pop a little glue in there, and then you'll have this kind of ladder sitting here and here if you want to represent that going inside. I'm not sure if people would want to do that, but we did provide them just in case, and they can be used in other areas as well. You can, on the top floor here, you can certainly just drop it into one of these spare slots that you've got here to represent a ladder, as it were. So you know, that's certainly one idea, and you know, it's cardboard, so you can kind of cut bits off and mod it if you want to poke a hole through this wall and do something like that with it. You can have some fun with that. So we have got those on there as well. And then of course on here we have still got some scatter items. So this one's empty, but on these other ones we've got that very specific table we spoke about with this cutaway that allows it to fit in the top. And it comes with a little map so that you can glue that on top, and you've got this like little map on top here. And we have got some weapon racks as well, so you'll see some weapon racks, and they're really cool because that's exactly what you want on your Watchtower. Here's a couple that I've already put together, and I penned them up as well for extra super effect. And what you do is these are a little bit different from the normal weapon racks because we've added a little bit of tab on them. Okay, so look for the scatter dedicated scatter video for putting these together if you need to. But what it does, it means that when you've got these up here, you can kind of put them in, and if you've pushed your walls down far enough, it just sits under there, and it just gives a little bit of stability to the weapons rack when you're lifting them off and on and moving them around. Okay, like that, stop them from sliding around. So we have got those on there as well. Like I say, look at the dedicated video for that. That is your Watchtower.